Greetings, everyone. This is Rob Bechtold bringing you NOLA Food Podcast number 8. We are at the Toups Meadery today with Amanda and Isaac Toups talking about some NOLA food. Unfortunately, the beginning of the podcast file got corrupted and everyone's voices were backwards, so the introduction's kind of messed up. It's me there with my wife Emily Bechtold, Amanda Toups, and Isaac Toups, and we are sitting in the dining room of the Toups Meadery. So here we go with a little bit of Cajun music to get us in the mood, and then a little NOLA food talk with the Toups family. The Toups family, I read, has been in Louisiana for over 300 years, it said. So you have deep roots in the culture, right?
Yeah.
We spread quickly.
Yes, they do. Well, there's two clans, too, and I love how they all want to come in and, talk to us. There's a New Orleans clan, there's Western Louisiana clan. They're all originally from the same family, but Isaac's family is the Western Louisiana clan.
Central
West, yeah.
From Rain?
From Rain.
Louisiana?
Yeah. Right next to Lafayette for people who don't know where Rain is.
The frog capital of the world.
Frog capital of the world, but yeah, it's hard to get, once you pass the Atchafalaya Basin, it's really hard to get cracklins. And for the longest time, I was kind of upset about that. It's like, why can't you get cracklins in New Orleans? I mean, maybe one or two people were doing it, and you never really knew about it that much. And I was offended by that until I opened up my own place and I saw cracklins go, hey, I'm good now. Now I'm just one of the few people, and there are a couple other people doing cracklins around, but I like that, I'm doing just traditional Cajun gratons.
Right. You were named Chef to Watch from the Toups-Picayune in 2010. And that was after you left Delmonico's, or when you were still there?
Right, I left Delmonico's to go do to go work as my first executive chef position at Restaurant Cuvée, and that's when I got the accolade for Chefs to Watch. So yeah.
We worked at August together, right around the corner from Cuvée, and we used to borrow a lot of product from there. So it's really cool that chefs do that in the city.
Yeah, absolutely. We all kind of stick together.
Absolutely, you have to.
If you need anything, you can always call up your friend.
Absolutely.
down the road.
There's, it's too hard of a business to be against one another. Like, if everyone just lifts one another up, I send people to other restaurants all the time after they've eaten at mine. Right. But all the time. As we recommend other restaurants, especially the small ones, when it's everyone just working as hard as they can to keep it going. I mean, I think that's what it's about.
And that's our hobby, going to other restaurants anyway. So why would you want to offend anybody?
Right. We just came back from Montreal this last weekend just to eat.
Right.
And they were saying that. I had several of the servers tell me, they're like, we're just now getting known to be a food town. And I was like, really? Because we've kind of always thought of you guys as a food town with Alpi de Cochon and those kind of chefs coming out of there. But I guess it's just now becoming more global for them, that it would be a food destination. And we're so lucky that we are all the time a food destination. Yeah, in New Orleans. But
so you pretty much take care of the front of the house.
I actually have an amazing general manager, Larry Wynn, who was at Cafe Min for a really long time. And we have all been friends for years and years and years and years. And so I've got a baby, so I go home at night. I'm here during the day, and I'm so lucky. I just let him run the staff. I handle the wine. I handle the books. And I come in and I get to shake hands and just be, a personality in the dining room, because he's the man with the magic in the front of the house. I mean, he really is. We're so lucky.
You're also my personal taster. Don't forget that.
Yeah, I'm the person they call me the palate.
No. What a great job.
No, he's joking. He's joking. He doesn't like my opinions sometimes. As long as we can leave that at work.
As a chef, I definitely ask my wife.
And then your feelings are hurt for a second when she doesn't love exactly what you. Exactly. And then he gets over it, and he'll send me a text. Okay, you were right.
Right.
Baby, how's this taste? I don't like it. What the hell with you?
Where his always is, I'm like, I really think we should change this dish. He's like, what do you want to change it to? I'm like, well, I hadn't thought about that. And he's like, well, don't come at me then unless you've got the idea behind it. Right, exactly. Don't just complain.
So you have some pretty deep roots in wine and stuff like that.
I was really lucky to study under Brian Berkey, who's the owner of Wine Institute New Orleans, or Wino on Tchoupitoulas, and he's, in my mind, the best wine guy in New Orleans. He's just got so much knowledge. He's just an incredible person. So I was the manager from the time they opened for the first 4 years, and I just got immersed, and he's just a great educator. So, but Larry's got a great palate too. We have different palates. He definitely likes more of the New World stuff, and I love Old World wine. So we kind of meet in the middle on that, and I trust his opinion on kind of what they're saying in the dining room. But I do miss kind of the wine education part of my old job. That was something that I felt pretty passionate about. But we'll get there. We'll do something different.
Is that something that y'all worked with the menu together, thinking, hey, what wines are we going to match with?
Well, I kind of we wrote the initial menu together for months. We took a year off after the baby was born to formulate this. And Isaac got to be with our daughter for the first year of her life. I mean, I think most chefs never get to experience that kind of, that luck. And we wrote the initial menu. Of course, most of it's Isaac, but it's kind of together, and then he took off and really refined it and all of that stuff, and I built it around him. And I think that's I really, as much as we are a team, I want the wine to be an asset. I want the cocktail program to be an asset. It should be a complement to Isaac's food. That's why we're here. And so I don't want it to ever overwhelm. I don't want it to overshine. I'm not trying to get awards for it. I mean, it's just not something I'm interested in. We're here to promote Isaac's food and the style of service that we believe in, which is a communal dining experience that you feel like you're eating with the Toups family, because it's so fun when you do. It really is. It's like every time we even get together, we're always like, it's like I feel like I'm like at a party. It's just anytime they're eating, they're all so passionate about it. You can just see it on their face. Mm-hmm. So to us, that's the most important thing. And the wine, and I think it's a well thought out wine list. I think it's well priced. I think it's all of those things. But I hope when you think about Toups that you're thinking about Isaac's food.
Sure. And the food is definitely meat forward.
Yes.
It's a meatery.
No getting around that. We're veggie friendly.
Was there any fear, with all the fear of trans fats and the veganism coming out to do a meat?
No.
There will always be people who are doing the vegan and who are doing the healthy. And I'm not one of those guys. I never will be. And that's not how I think about food. I think about food as flavor. I think about food as good dining experience. Go somewhere else and get your healthy stuff on. And Amanda is right. We are vegetarian friendly, even though we are meatery. We also are seafood friendly because seafood is meat. But the proteinery didn't really sound as good. So I am a protein forward chef. It's even how I cook at the house. I go to Whole Foods or I go to Rouse's or somewhere like that. I go to the meat section or seafood section first, pick up my protein, then make the meal around that, and then Amanda will pick wine around that. Sure. And that's just how we eat at the house, and that's how pretty much we go around here. We start with the protein, start with the meat. That's what I like, and then make it around it. We don't hide the flavors; we just accentuate them.
I think it's a very American concept too, because in Europe, whenever you're dining, you'll see that most of the time that you're handed the wine list, and they will pick their wine first, and then decide what they're going to eat. And in America, it's really the opposite. Mm-hmm. You're going to decide what you're going to eat, and then pick the wine,
or beer,
or whatever, or cocktails, or whatever. But that's the way we believe too. I think again, the protein should be the star while you're here.
Well, and it's also on a budget and being a family and stuff like that. Yeah. You want to spend the most of your money and get the most out of
Absolutely.
it. So we always look at what's on sale first and then try to match that with.
See,
it.
My husband won't eat leftovers, so we got to figure out what's. Isn't that crazy?
We're a lot alike. I'm
like, it's better tomorrow.
I ate that yesterday. Why would I eat it now?
I'm not ever going to eat that again. Never.
I mean, if I can turn it into something else, I'll work with that. I try to do that. So y'all are part of the Mid-City new development. Carrollton's really blowing up. Yeah. The streetcar and all the new restaurants.
We didn't even look anywhere else.
Right.
We live uptown. We live in this in the Irish Channel, right by Stein's Deli. All these amazing restaurants and bars and all this other stuff. And we were like, where are we needed? Where are we going to stand out? I don't want to have to fight so damn hard, you know?
Right.
And we're fighting hard, but it's just like, God, I don't want to be next to Cajun or someplace like that, or even Coquette, Uptown. I mean, I just don't want to be next to all these other great restaurants. I want to be here and have a real fighting chance in a neighborhood that really wanted us and really needed us. And so we only looked in Bayou St. John, Mid-City area. And so it took us a little bit longer, but we found this place, we walked in, we're like, oh God, it needs a ton of work. But we stood here on the corner for like an hour, and we were like,
It's a great spot.
there's people driving by, there's people walking by. And as soon as we took down the Mediterranean Cafe sign, the neighbors started knocking. They were like, what are you doing? When are you opening?
Nice.
Yeah, like, you know. And especially when the weather's nice, they just walk right up. And we just love them to pieces. We're getting to know the neighborhood really well, and they've really just been a dynamic support system for us.
Well, as a small business person, did y'all go through a retail agent? Is that how y'all started
we went
looking
through
for properties?
A business broker.
Okay.
A business broker. We did start with a real estate agent, and then I think I saw this listed on Craigslist or something. This business was for sale, and we contacted them, and we just had a meeting with them. And it turned out, I mean, it looked kind of, I'll be honest with you, it felt sketchy at first. And we were like, oh, I don't know. But then, we got attorneys involved, and we actually had to buy his business. So basically asked him to leave. We were like, can you get out, please? We want to come in here, get out. So, yeah, we wound up going through a business broker, but it was kind of a different way to do it. We didn't really want to do that. We wanted to just find the space, but we just got...
Do what you can.
Yeah. We just really believed in the spot, so...
As being restaurant owners, how do y'all feel about the food trucks and pop-ups and stuff like that in the city? Do y'all feel like that's something that's helping New Orleans food culture, or is it something that the restaurateurs are kind of hesitant about?
I think it absolutely helps everything. The more restaurants, the better. The more pop-ups, the better. It gets you variety. That's what people want around here. Not a lot of people want to eat the same thing over and over again. And I think pop-ups and food trucks, wonderful. Wonderful. Gives you more options around the place.
We thought about doing a food truck.
Yeah, we thought about doing a food truck. The more options you got, just going to make everybody else better. The people who putting out subpar food, they're going to go to the wayside. People who actually working hard and putting thought into their food, no matter what that type of food is, whether you're going super fine dining to do just casual, easy going to po' boys and whatnot, people are going to go where the quality is. And I think with the more pop-ups you have and the more restaurants you have, the better the food will get. So I say bring it. And anybody who's against a small business owner trying to make a name for themselves or just trying to work for themselves, that doesn't make any sense. It's not that's not the American way. No, work for yourself. Absolutely, make it better. Make everybody else better.
Well, what we were talking about on some earlier podcasts, I was on the podcast with Cam from Killer Po' Boys, and he said he does a pop-up at the Aaron Rose, and he said that he wants to be like y'all. He wants to be a rock and have a staff members under him that supports him and he supports their family, and all that does is build our community up, and that's what's rebuilding New Orleans, I think.
Yeah.
Or the small business people like us.
And I think what they're doing is exciting. I mean,
sure.
Killer Po' Boys, right? I think bringing a modern twist onto something that's so classical.
And that's something else that we brought up is just hitting different notes, and there's enough notes out there if we're all hitting different notes for the customer base to be big enough to support everybody in the city. It hasn't ever been an issue. No, I think
we weren't scared. Isaac's parents were like, there's like 2,000 restaurants in New Orleans. We're like, yeah, we know, we're not scared. Like, and I think to read what Isaac said, it's like, there's a lot of people that have been just like making it because they've been here so long, and now when you got so many fresh faces in the game who are working so hard and putting out really good quality, I think those people either step up their game or they're going to go by the wayside, and then we're all the next wave. And I really believe that. I think that we've got a lot of great people in front of us. I mean, Adolfo Garcia, somebody like that. I mean, that's who I aspire to be like. A guy who's really he's put the work and he's put the time in. But not only that, when you go to his restaurants, there's consistency there. And that's what we strive for, is like a good dining experience. But when you had the lamb neck here 2 months ago, when you come back in a month, it better taste exactly the same, Right. And that server, I hope, remembers you. We have had no turnover in the front since we opened. So we're really building a team here to give you guys an experience.
And if y'all have ever worked in restaurants, it's a true family experience when you do work. It can be good or bad. I've had it both ways.
But sometimes dysfunctional is good, but it's like a very dysfunctional family.
But it's definitely very family-like. Speaking of the lamb, y'all source out local where y'all can. I was talking with Two Run Farms, and they said they deal with y'all.
Yeah, I mean, as much as you can. You get as much local as you can. I do some Chapapila farm stuff, some Eden farms, not local, but some Two Run Farms. Go to Holly Grove Market. I get the Jack and Jake's is a local co-op truck that stops by with a bunch of different, and I go to the farmers markets and whatnot. And you get as much as possible. Unfortunately, you can't get everything 100% local. That would be wonderful. Otherwise, your price points would go way too high, and just some things you just don't have around here. And so you walk a fine line of getting as much local as possible and as much as organic as possible, while keeping your price points in a manageable situation and keeping your quality up. I mean, some places, yes, it's local, but it is as good as you could get it 2 states away. So you got to look at it with every point and every angle. So that's what it is.
Sure, we thought the same thing, and we said we were going to do local and do farm fresh as long as it made sense.
Yeah.
And we could keep our price point where it is.
And
that's where a lot of problems happen. Sometimes I can go to a grocery store and pay $2.50 for a bag of buns, but if I get some local buns, I'm paying $9.50 for the same amount of buns. If I don't do some price,
and then when you got lost, maybe you didn't even use all those buns.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so
it's hard.
So it is a give and take, and I hope people out there understand that when we say that we're doing local, we are doing the best that we can as long as it makes sense. And I think most business people are like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. There's no reason not to.
So what's going on with Toups Meadery? Is there anything going on in the future, or y'all just kind of riding the wave for your first year?
Well, we're getting out of summertime. We actually had a really good summer over here. It was actually fantastic, considering everybody else I talked to. It was like normal summertime for them, and since we had just opened, we still that fresh opening buzz. And, the Hurricane Isaac, had to come in there and ruin everybody's plans. So
how many jokes did get made about your name?
Thanks a lot, Isaac.
I kept quiet on Facebook about it, so I'm not going to bring any heat my way. But so everything slowed down. Everybody was, had to refurbish their refrigerators and whatnot, and they didn't get paid for a week. So it's been a little slow, but we got busy season going to come up first a couple weeks into October. We're going to be just fine, and I'm actually right now taking the time to transfer everything to fall. It's starting to get a little cooler. Starting to get the vegetables are kind of changing over. Get more root veg, more mustard greens, and just the local and the seasonal, if you will. Changing a couple of things, taking all the citrus off the menu and replacing with just more fall flavors and whatnot. So that's what I'm doing with a little bit of the downtime I get. So I get to experiment, tweak the menu here and there, take some things off that I may not like, add some things to it. See if those sell. If they don't, oh well, go back. And go. It's back and forth. It doesn't matter how good something is if it doesn't sell. So,
yeah, I've heard great things about your meat board. So you're doing like in-house charcuterie
and that's a constant evolution. That's constant. I mean, and constant changeover. I mean, I'll make a big batch of one type of salami or one big batch of a certain type of charcuterie. Then we'll run into that, and then halfway through running into that, I'll start something else. So that's why while some things are never going to change, I'm always going to have cracklings and boudin sausage on my meat board. But sometimes I'll have duck pancetta, sometimes I'll have lamb prosciutto. Right now I've got a fennel salami working, and we've also got some magre duck breast curing.
And I heard of rillette. You were having some rillette on the board.
We'll have some rions, actually. The rions are, and we do have rillette on the board as well sometimes. But the rions, that's crackling's sweet French cousin. So they're candied pork belly.
Oh, come on.
So without the skin, and I caramelize the pork belly down in the oven with red wine, sugar, and bay leaf. And that just comes out literally just like it sounds. It sounds like candied pork belly, and that's exactly what it is. I just put the term rion to make it sound fancy.
That sounds awesome.
It's good. I think what's nice about Isaac's Meadery board is a large portion of it is fresh stuff. There are cured items on there, but he's constantly got some fresh. Like right now, we've got a duck liver mousse on there that's just dynamite. It's just dynamite.
It's a meat board, and that's even what I advertise it as. And if some people want to call it a charcuterie board, yeah, you can call it a charcuterie board. That's fine. But it's not. Its basis is not charcuterie. I have some dry cured items, and some people think charcuterie. They think of the dry cured stuff, whereas charcuterie is a really broad term, and that's why I intentionally said meat board, cracklings, Boudin. Sure, I've got some capicola on there and some cured ingredients, but it's a little more less refined, a little more fun. Yeah. You know, not too many places will serve you their charcuterie board with a big bowl of cracklings on the side. That's what I wanted to do. I want a big plate of freaking fun.
Yes, sir. I like
Meaty
that.
fun.
Meaty fun.
I like that. So when the Toups have a babysitter, where do y'all go out to eat? Is there anywhere in the city that's unknown that people might not know about? That
I don't know about unknown.
I don't know about unknown.
Yeah.
There are places we do like to frequent, like I hate to keep plugging them, but we like to go to Rio Mar and La Boca. They're pretty consistent, easygoing restaurants that don't break the wallet because we're low on funds with a baby nowadays.
Yeah.
We also like Coquette is right down the road from where we live, so and they're good friends with us. And we tend to frequent places that we like and we're friends with people, not necessarily for a hookup and whatnot, although that's nice.
That's not why we're there.
That's not why we're there, but it's always good to just go places that was like, no, I want that guy to succeed. I'm going to go there. We like going to Mahoney's. We for po' boys. Stein's Deli is literally half a block from my house, so I love to go see those guys over there. Where else do we go?
I think the evolution of me and you is years ago, and I mean like probably I'm saying years, but only in the last few years. Every time we had days off, we went out to fine dining. We were in fine dining once, sometimes twice a week, and now we're like, God, I just want to keep my flip-flops on. I'm tired. The baby's finally asleep. Like, can't we just walk to Mahoney's and drink a couple beers and eat a po' boy?
And lean on each other.
Yeah, and oh my God, hold me, baby. Please just hold me. I'm so tired. And I think that, and that's why we never even considered doing a fine dining restaurant or even anything that would even like parlay that way. Because we really like the experience of, sitting with our friends, just like we're doing now, and just talking in a very casual atmosphere, eating solid food, really good food in a very casual atmosphere. And so that's the kind of dining we like to do whenever we're out and about on our own,
And I come from fine dining, and I'm really glad I did come from fine dining because all the techniques and ingredients and processes that involve in fine dining, all those spectacular, wonderful ways of cooking can be translated over to casual. So while I'm back there doing some pretty, not extravagant, but some time detailed and some very skilled stuff, you don't really notice it on the plate. And I like that. I like that you come in and go, wow, this is delicious. How do you do that? Well, I mean, it's kind of complicated, but on the plate, no extraneous garnish. Might just be, vegetables, meat, sauce, and very good meat, vegetable sauce. And that's the way I like to go about it. So I'm extremely happy with my fine dining roots. And we still do like to go out and do some fine dining here on occasion. But like Amanda says, most of the time, Jesus Christ, we got a babysitter. Let's go to Juan's Flying Burrito.
I wish we sounded cooler. I wish we were like, we're always in a restaurant.
No, I think that's honest. I think that's real talk in the city, and that's where people really go.
Yeah, so. I mean, I think there's a lot of great casual places that we've even been to. I haven't even been to Company Burger yet. I'm dying to get over there, and I said, I haven't gotten over there to eat a hamburger yet. It's my next babysitter occasion. And Killer Po' Boys. I'm wanting to get over there too. So there's
a bunch of new places we haven't checked out just because we don't have the time. Right?
Isaac works 6 days a week to be open 5 days a week, and that's the truth. We don't have a walk-in. Everything's done, right away. I mean, basically within the time we're about to sell it, and so he's here all the time.
Well, that's very impressive, and y'all should be very proud of yourselves.
Thank you.
And
so far, so good.
There's a great buzz in the city. Y'all come see Amanda and Isaac Toups over here at Toups Meadery. What are your hours?
Tuesday through Saturday, we have lunch 11 to 2:30, and dinner 5 to 9 Tuesday through Thursday, and Friday and Saturday 5 to 10.
And you also have a website,
ToupsMeadery.com. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook.
Well, that's great. Thank y'all so much for having us here.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate y'all.
It was fun, yeah.
All right. Thank y'all so much.
Thanks.